And we still gotta discipline things.
Okay. I know, we're on though. Excuse me, you're gonna be in the shot, so can you, no.
Yep, no, I am just going live and I'm out of here.
We're good? Thank you. Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer. Is it Monday? Is today Monday? Oh my goodness. You learn to go around the clock in a lot of businesses, but definitely in this one. And we have an event coming up this Thursday that I'll tell you about in a little bit. And that's just, it's going to be great. But I'm just here. I'm letting you know, folks, I'm here. I'm exhausted. But I run on adrenaline and coffee for these shows, so it should be interesting. So we are here on Business and Culture Monday, as we always start the week back to work with business, and so happy that you are here. Hope that you are encouraged, hope that you are active, that you're engaged, and that you're ready to take on this week, because I believe, regardless of what you think about the elections, I think we're in a new place. I think we're in a new phase. I mean, it's different. It's a different government. There's a different vibe going on. What are you going to do? I mean, this is your reality, whether you like it or not. This is where we are as a country. What are you going to do? Because in the end, this is about us. This is about we the people. This is about what we're going to do. And specifically, what are we going to do in the Pikes Peak region to have a golden age here? We have a great economy here. What happens in the rest of the country doesn't really matter as much. Of course it matters, and we care about our country people. But Colorado Springs, the El Paso County region, is a very interesting place. We have an economic bubble with all the military, with all the government here, with all the contractors and everything else that makes us very resilient. And so we're actually ahead of most. But the thing is, what are we going to do with it? That's what I'm going to say. Do all big issues, and they don't go away, and they don't get better unless we engage. We can't count on the government to really do anything. It's great, as far as I'm concerned. It's great when it stays out of our way. People ask me about my political bent because they assume things. I'm a small government conservative. I'm a leave me alone libertarian. Just leave me alone. Let me do my thing. Let me be an American. And I hope that you feel the same way. And if we can all get together with that kind of attitude, that we're trying to build something for ourselves, for our family, but also together as a community, this is a powerful, powerful place to live. There are amazing people that are here. I get to talk to them, every day here on the radio. But again, the question is, are we ready to work together? And I would hope that we are. So prepare, because I think we have a great year here in the region coming up if we would do that. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors, all of them. Please patronize them. They put the show on the air and keep it on the air. But specifically our platinum sponsors, Springs Dentist and Dr. Craig Summerhill in Colorado Springs. They're our family dentists, good friends of ours, big backers of the show, and especially if you're into natural health, get into holistic dentistry and give Springs Dentist a call. And then that event that I told you about, Taste of the Peak, just coming up this Thursday. You got to get your tickets, folks. You've been hearing me talk about this for weeks. It's time to get your tickets. I don't know what it is about our culture, maybe in Colorado, wherever, where people like RSVP for a wedding like an hour beforehand. Like when you're trying to run an event, it's like impossible. So if you're thinking about going, stop thinking, go get your tickets at thepeak.news/events. It's going to be an incredible evening, lots of fun, and making a difference in our community. We have here as our guest and co-host for the hour, the CEO and Executive Director of the Pikes Peak Workforce Center, Traci, and it's Marques. Marques. There's so many different ways to pronounce that. Marques, Traci Marques. I'm going to try to get that good throughout. And the Pikes Peak Workforce Center connects vital businesses with with work-ready job seekers and employer-driven services. Can you tell this is like a mission statement I'm reading here? That doesn't roll off the tongue. So, and helps residents of El Paso and Teller counties with career transition, whether they are unemployed, underemployed, or employed. Traci, thanks so much for being on the Peak.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
And we're going to be spending the hour talking about workforce, talking about you working, me working, businesses, and how the Pikes Peak Workforce Center will support you in that quest. And so we're going to be getting into all different things on business, including headlines. Coming up next, then Traci's going to be doing I'm flipping through, going to be doing an op-ed piece on future workforce trends. And then we're going to be learning about how you can get back to work, because I've heard that a lot of people are not so into working anymore, and for someone who works as much as I do, I just can't tolerate that. So, you're listening to The Peak here on AM 1460. I'm the Watchman. I hope that you are motivated, because I am too. We'll be right back with The Peak. Okay, that wasn't my best. It was a little all over the map, but anyway. I'm a little scrambled, so they get that part of me. Okay, where are we here? You could set a good temperament for the show. That's what I try to do in that. Okay, may I have those headlines, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Excellent. Okay.
Oh, I made notes on them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. But are you going to need those notes?
Nope.
Okay.
No, I won't.
Maybe I'll use them.
You can use them.
Okay. Let's see here. I slept like a half an hour last night. So
Oh.
I'm feeling really.
You're feeling
I'm
it
feeling,
now, aren't
and
you?
I had a cup of coffee. Well, I'm feeling wired. I'm on the opposite side of it because
Oh.
I can't get tired doing this job. I'm feeling a little wiry. So
It's the passion that gets you through, isn't it?
yeah, I'm on the radio. That's great. It's a great job. Okay, so we have about 3 minutes. Let's see. Colorado Springs-based nonprofit. Okay, portraits for patriots. Nice. Okay. So you're familiar with this group, so you can talk directly about them? Okay, great. Touch on belly, and then we're going to do the second. How we doing?
You checked your phone, or
What?
there's something I sent you that Ricky Bobby wanted you to cover?
Ricky Bobby?
Yeah. He sent me something, so I texted it to you.
Did you see this today? And it has to be today? What's it about?
Happening on Tuesday
Oh.
at 2.
This is up at the legislature. Can you print this out, man? Because I really, my
Okay.
phone will turn off. Can you do it in the next, because when am I going to talk about it? I have to talk
It would be
about it during the
headlines.
headline segment. I need it in
I can get it during the show, I guess.
I need it in like a minute and a half, 2 minutes, please. Okay, I'll read that as a... Everybody,
It's constantly changing, isn't
I'm the
it?
yeah, I'm the mouth. Well, it's good. I'm supposed to be, somewhat of a mouthpiece for every cause in town. So
Those are just my notes as far as
okay.
how we work with the culinary hospitality business.
Okay. I gotta mention, Mitch is they're a sponsor of the show here. So he's gonna move all that. So he told me he was doing this, and he's never got over there.
I think it's a great idea.
Oh yeah.
For portraits for patrons?
No,
No,
this culinary.
The culinary
Oh,
altitude
I mean,
hospitality's doing it.
Mitch really has his own little like what do I call it? This little food kingdom.
Well, you look at all the different culinary workforce that it attracts.
Okay.
Different people with different.
Okay, we're back in 30. Okay. Been trying to get Mitch on the show, but he's like always traveling. Okay. Okay, that's not separate. Okay. Okay, the third one I might just do the headline and we can riff on that. Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're joining us on Business and Culture Mondays here on the Peak. And we have with us for the hour Traci. You know, sometimes names like stick in my head, and sometimes I tried to write it out phonetically. It didn't work either. Give it to me again.
It's Marques.
Marques, like question.
Like question.
Traci with an I and
That's right.
Marques.
Correct.
There we go. Traci Marques, hopefully at the next time I'll get it right. CEO and Executive Director of the Pikes Peak Workforce Center. Traci, again, thanks so much for being. I'm glad we're on a first name basis.
That's
so
right.
I don't have
Let's
to say
just
that.
go with first names. From here on out, we're only doing first names.
No, I'll keep saying your name. I owe it to you. I got to work it out. You know, it's a personal thing. But we're doing the headlines here, and we're starting with the first headline. Colorado Springs-based nonprofit trains military spouses for portable careers. This is from the Gazette, Isaac Odell article, January 25th. 2 Colorado Springs-based military spouses recently joined a national cohort receiving free advanced training as professional photographers, love that, in exchange for donating their time to help transitioning service members prepare for the civilian job market. Portraits for Patriots is a nonprofit that provides free portfolio quality portraits for separating service members, spouses, and Gold Star families. Recently launched the Portraits for Patriots Academy, a self-paced online training program that provides military spouses with a full array of portrait photography skills, and they receive a kit worth roughly $5,000, which is awesome, containing professional lighting equipment, photography software, and computer cables. The graduates can keep the kits for as long as they remain with the nonprofit. So Traci, you're well aware of this organization.
Yes,
Tell
I
us
am.
about it. This is great. Anything that helps veterans and their families transition in and be successful, I love.
Well, when you look at career opportunities and job opportunities for military spouses, it's very difficult to have a professional career when you move every 2 to 3 years. This program actually allows you to take those transferable skills.
Right, so
and
that's a
equipment that you
portable,
have.
so that's
It's
the
a
portable part.
Yes.
Excellent.
And that's wonderful to be able for military spouses and those transition out of the military to really take the skill sets that they've learned by what Eric and his team are doing and take that anywhere they move. So it's lifelong skills that we're talking about, skills that are always going to be needed. So it's a great opportunity for military spouses.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, there are certain things that you can do, and I know working in the video business that you know, these are things that you can do anywhere, that you can pick up and set down, and as long as you offer those services out there. So do you know anybody that's involved with this?
I do.
Okay.
I have some personal friends that are involved with it. They've had their portraits taken by Eric and his team, and just a phenomenal product that they produce, and it's just a great opportunity.
And are they doing the business, or they've received the services?
They receive the services. I know people that have both been trained into this position to be a photographer, professional photographer, and then also people who've had their pictures and portraits taken, and it's a great way to showcase who they are, your LinkedIn profile, your different business communities. If you're looking for a job, it's a great way to showcase who you are, and the photos really capture the true essence of who you are, which is an incredible opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Next, I'm doing so. This was just handed to me, so this is not something we're going to banter on, but this is a public service announcement. And let me see if I can read this properly with the lighting in here. The Senate State Veterans and Military Affairs Committee will hear testimony on and vote either to advance or kill the 2025 semi-automatic gun ban. So this is, as you know, I hope you know, that our legislature is in session for 4 months, and when this happens, there's a lot of legislation. In fact, last year, every one of the 100 House representatives gets up to 5 bills. Okay, 100 representatives, 5 bills, and we had 700 bills last year. So you can do the math on how much legislation gets passed, but there's always stuff coming after the Second Amendment here. There's something about banning guns in this state, so it seems like testimony is being given tomorrow. If passed, this bill would ban all semi-automatic rifles, shotguns, and gas-operated pistols, and including AR-15 and others. So there's going to be hearings up in Denver tomorrow. So we had said, and I put out the word, that we want to let people know if there are issues that are going on, because very often stuff gets debated and voted on, not just up at the legislature under the Gold Dome, but in the county commissioners or city council, and we never know about it. There's no advance notice, so if you have an interest to go down and comment, you don't. So we've been telling people, if you hear about something that you think people might want to know about, so that they can go up and say to our representatives what they want done. And so this is why this got sent to us. So if this is of interest to you and you can make it up there, I don't know if they'll take testimony online or not, you can look into that, but this is something that's being debated tomorrow. Semi-automatic ban tomorrow, let's see, January 28th at 2 p.m. It says the rest is up to you. As I said at the beginning of the program, we the people go do that. Okay, next. Colorado Springs Restaurateur transitions event venue to culinary center. So the Pinery North, which is a building that was, it was another event center, restaurant, I think sports bar facility kind of thing. I know they had volleyball and stuff out there. And Mitch Yellen, who, full disclosure, Mitch is a friend of mine, and also Altitude Hospitality, they advertise on the show. That's why you hear about Dad's Donuts and Vine and Wheel, because they're one of our great sponsors here, and Mitch supports what we do. In fact, the event that we're having is at the Pinery, the regular Pinery at the Hill, but he's taken this building and he's turning it into a culinary center with a bunch of different restaurants, some of which are other versions of ones that he has, including Dad's Donuts and Garden of the Gods Gourmet and others. So it's sort of a food court and a culinary center, but more upscale than most food courts. What do you know about this, Traci?
Well, I think this is a great opportunity to showcase really the wide diversity of skills needed in the culinary industry. When you look at the hospitality industry and you look at different restaurants and different styles and different foods that they prepare, this center really represents a wide variety of skill sets needed to work in each one of those venues. What you need to do in the coffee shop is going to be very different of what you need to do, skills that you need in Dad's Donuts. When we look at this type of opportunity for our community, not only is it a great opportunity for us as citizens and residents of El Paso County to really go in and get a wide variety of taste of different foods and different options all in one spot, this really provides a wonderful opportunity for people to train and career pathways in the culinary hospitality industry. So when we see something like this in my world of workforce lens that I look through, it's really just a wonderful place to be able to showcase all the different skill sets needed and transferable skill sets for the different hospitalities, culinary restaurateurs that we have in our community.
Okay, and this is being called the Homestead Collective. It's at where the Pinery North building was, 9633 Prominent Point, and so check it out. Read about it. There's going to be a great place to go get great food, all in one place coming up. And I know Mitch told me that he was working on something up there. I just didn't know what it was. Okay, last. Budget constraints hamper collection of economic data. This was an editorial in the Gazette by Tatiana Bailey, who's our local celebrity economist, if we have one. What's this about? We have about a minute and a half. What's this about?
So Dr. Tatiana Bailey always does commentary for different varieties and issues within the local region that we have. Some of this talks about skills gaps that we have. What are the businesses that are hiring? What are the skills gap? Are there businesses that we're adding to our community? What are the job seekers that we need to satisfy the need of the business? So there's a wide variety that she talks about, and this is just an excellent commentary that talks about what recently happened with the federal budget freeze as far as hiring in the federal government and what that means to our local economy and how does it impact us in the Pikes Peak region.
So how much, I talked about us having, that there's a bubble here that can be good, but what are we looking at now with this freeze going on here, is how might it impact locally?
You know, we really don't know. We know right now in the landscape that we have that there's more job openings we have across all industries, including the DoD defense industry. There's more job openings that we have that people are available. What this really gets down to is the skill sets that we need. What are the skill sets needed to be able to fill the job positions that we have? And how do we use the data, especially what Dr. Bailey provides, to really help fill those gaps and help us understand what our landscape is?
Okay, you're listening to Traci Marques from the Pikes Peak Workforce Center. When we come back, she's going to be talking about the future of workforce trends in our area here on the Peak. Okay, thank you. So, in this segment, I'll be giving you'll have about 4 minutes once I introduce. So I'll be giving you a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then this means 30 seconds. So that will allow you to then, wrap up, do a final chapter on it.
Yep.
So that will allow you to pace yourself as you're going through it and edit on the fly. Just, you have really good energy, so keep that up. I don't have to coach on that. Otherwise, one thing I didn't say, I most likely won't do it here, but if you ever see me do this, that's wrap it up. 10 or 15 seconds, I need it back.
Right.
And when you hear music, that's 30 seconds from the end, so I need you to land the plane and give it back. But usually in the interview, that's more where, as I'm trying to pace, you'll see a wrap up so I can get to the next question and make sure we click through everything that we're doing. But in this one, try to fill the time. If you come up a little short, I'll jump in with a follow-up question, so you don't have to, but see if you can fill the whole 4 minutes with this. And otherwise, your energy is really good. Just the thing about radio is it's only voice, so everything is voice. So all emotion, it's like radio theater, everything has to come through the voice, but I think you're doing that, and you have that over-the-top energy, which is necessary because the radio shrinks it down, so it should feel a little bit like intense so that it sounds normal on the other end, right? But I feel you're matching that, so I don't think that's going to be an issue.
Okay.
Some people are very chill and then they sound sleepy, on the other end.
We don't want that.
No, it's
Not
just
at
every type of communication has its own, has its own pros and cons. But the great thing about this is you can, it's instantaneous. So you get something and you can go to air with it, which there's really no other medium.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been with Salem for 2 years, but I've been doing this pretty much my whole life. I have broadcasting and film background, so mostly video.
Great.
But I've been here 2 years, and we just celebrated first year anniversary of this on January 15th. We finished our first year of the new show. And now we're bringing it into schools, and I was just at D11. I'm going to be teaching journalistic ethics and media vocational training at the schools, and then tying it into an internship.
Oh, actually, I heard about that already.
You did?
Yeah,
Well, that's good.
I meet with the current technical education directors from all the school districts on a
Okay.
monthly basis. Dwayne.
Yeah.
And so Dwayne mentioned that you were starting that, and so all the other schools were jealous.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
I hope we get plenty of people. I mean, they'll bus them in from. No, I'm willing to do it.
It's great because we need industry to actually lead this effort.
Yeah.
Because
And we need there are news deserts all over. We need the only way this is going to work is limited staff, the money coming from some combination of businesses and grants and maybe paywall money. People want extra. The media is in free fall. There's a new something needs to ride from the ashes, and I think that's what I designed a couple of years ago, and it's here now, and we're tip of the spear. We just need to infuse the people into it now.
where were you before this?
Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The answer: no, we won't lie to you. We have the whole rest of the media to do that. We're here to say the quiet stuff out loud, to give you good information, to not tell you how to think, but to help you have the information you need to lead your life and your family and your business and your community the way that you want. That's what the media is supposed to be. I think we never knew what it was. It's been so long since we had it, but we're fighting tooth and nail to get it back, and we want you to be part of it. Please go on the peak.news and get involved as a citizen journalist, as if you're a young person, as an intern, as a tech, as a sponsor. We'd love our sponsors, or as a guest, or something else. Find your place here, because we're taking the media back here locally on the Peak. And I want to give a shout out to our our gold sponsor, Home Comfort Heating and Air. Vern's a good friend. He does our HVAC. So have your furnace been keeping you warm this week with all this freezing cold weather? If not, give Vern a call at Home Comfort Heating and Air. If it's not okay, you don't pay at Home Comfort Heating and Air. Well, we have here, I'm going to turn it over to Traci Marques. Man, I don't know. I might need some therapy in order to get through. The CEO and Executive Director of the Pikes Peak Workforce Center, and Traci is talking about now the future workforce trends in the Pikes Peak region and nationally. Traci.
Well, I think in my world of workforce lens, we talk about workforce all the time, but to your average citizen, and we had this conversation earlier, is like, what is workforce? What's your definition?
Is it a
of workforce?
noun? Is it a verb? What is it?
And it's all of that. It's
Okay.
all of that, but we know that businesses need talent. They need to attract and retain their talent that they have, and then they need to bring in the new talent. Then we talk about job seekers. Job seekers are people, whether you're employed, unemployed, or underemployed, need to be able to figure out where they're going next. And when we look at workforce trends that we're seeing, not only locally but nationally, we're really looking at the skill sets that you have. We're looking at skills first hiring. So when we talk about your job that you had prior, what skill sets did you bring into your prior employment, your prior position, into this skill set? It doesn't necessarily need to be that degree that you had, but what are the skills that you have that make you suitable for this position? So one of the trends that we're starting to see, when we talked earlier, that there's more open positions in the Pikes Peak region than there are people looking for a position. So what are the skills that you need for those positions? That's one that's very important to us. And when you look at skills, if you look at a job description and you're saying that I need a bachelor's degree to be an administrative assistant, we will ask those employers of why do you need a bachelor's degree? And they're going to come back and say, well, they can show up on time and they can work as a team. We're like, well, can someone who doesn't have a bachelor's degree do that? And they're like, yes. So we're really changing the lens for businesses on their hiring practices. The other thing that we're starting to see that is both a statewide trend, local trend, national trend is apprenticeships. Apprenticeships are earn and learn opportunity. You're actually employed with a company and you're able to actually get training and have pay increases on your job. So when businesses look at how do I find the talent, I can't find anyone that's trained to do this, we ask them about apprenticeship programs. And as job seekers and those looking for jobs, apprenticeships are a great opportunity for you to get training and be employed and get a paycheck. Everyone can't afford to go back to school to get a certification or a bachelor's degree, but what earn and learn opportunities do you have? Apprenticeship programs, you think of those in your construction, in your trades, but in reality, there's apprenticeship programs to be a barber. To cut hair, there's apprenticeship programs. There's apprenticeship programs for teaching. You can be able to teach. There's type of opportunities. Additional ones that we're looking at is more learner and employment records. How do you take the skill sets that you have and transfer them with you wherever you go? We talked about military spouses. They're in the Pikes Peak region. They may be stationed at Fort Carson. How do they take the skill sets that they learned, the skill sets they learned with Portraits for Patriots program, and take those when they go and get assigned in Germany? How do you have that transferable digital wallet? And those are the three top trends that we're really seeing now, but locally, but nationally, is really looking at skills first. How do you take the skills that you have into the jobs that you have in the past? How do you transfer those into maybe apprenticeship program, earn or learn, additional credentials, stackable credentials, and then how do you transport the skills that you have? What are some of today's technologies that you can use to take the skill sets with you and actually be able to have verifiable credentials? So just some great opportunities that we have and what we're looking for in the world of work.
Is that because people are just moving around a lot? I mean, what is it? Are people still very transient at this point?
They're not. They're transient not only in the environment within different states, but they're transient in jobs. People don't keep their jobs, positions, and how you transfer those skills.
No, I think about my father working for the same company for 35 years, right? We never see that anymore, right?
No, that doesn't happen.
Okay, you're listening to The Peak. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. When we come back, we're going to be talking more about the work of the Pikes Peak Workforce Center. Stick around, we'll be right back. I'm trying to write your name out phonetically, and every way that I do it, it just ends me up in the same place.
Just say Mark question and just
Question,
stop out the
request,
question.
it's
Just stop out with the last part of it.
Mar
Question.
question.
There you go.
And then TION in parentheses. Okay, we'll see what we can do.
She's used to it.
I'm
No, I
used
know,
to it,
it's-
right? And it's Portuguese.
Yeah, okay. So is that how it's pronounced in Portuguese, or is that anglicized?
Anglicized. Midwest anglicized. East Coast has own.
He's on a roll today. He kept trying to put two letters in front of my name too.
I don't know where I got that from. I guess I just, just working fast. Okay, so we're on page 4,
Got
segment
it.
4. So those are the questions,
All right.
and we'll have about 2 to 3 minutes for each one.
2 to 3 minutes each
For
question.
each, to answer each question, because we have 12 minutes for the whole
And then
thing.
do we have a separate
Oh.
segment that talks about like the job fairs and how people can utilize their
Well,
services?
is that, at segment 5, we never determined what we want to do in segment 5. We have about 5 minutes there, so do you,
Let's see what we get through on this one, and then we can figure it out.
well, I like to throw to it, so do you have an
Okay.
idea where it might be? Do you want to, we were going to mention the job fair quick, but is that something you'd like to do a whole segment on?
Probably not.
Okay.
Um,
I like to do sort of a call to action there, like I
Okay.
like people, or activity,
mhm.
something to challenge people. Okay, how long has it been there?
What about? Are we getting to? Let me see.
Okay, we're back.
Okay.
Because you could, instead of talking about employee development fund and promotion, you could talk about it in that 5 minutes later.
Welcome back to the Peak News. I'm Chaim Goldman, the Watchman. You're listening to AM 1460 and FM 101.1. The Answer. And we spent time during the break, Traci trying to help me pronounce her last name. And
right.
I still don't know. It's like a test.
It's a test. Can you do it?
Traci she's saying like Mark question. So, but can I stop there?
Yes.
Traci Marques.
See, there you go.
Oh,
You
okay,
did it.
we'll see.
Kudos, kudos.
It might be the only one. Record that and play it back every
Yeah,
time
do
we
it
need
at
to
the
say
end of
her
the
name.
segment.
Challenges to all of that and what the Pikes Peak Workforce Center does, but before I do, I'm going to promote, because it's just a few days from now, is our Taste of the Peak. You gotta, if you listen to the show, you gotta come to this. It's gonna be a fun time. I like to do like carnival atmosphere kind of stuff, so there's gonna be food tastings and different activities. It's just a fun time to get together with people from all over the city, to have fun together while making a difference, and it is to the benefit, we're calling it a fun fundraiser, to the benefit of our Peak News Educational Foundation and our Journalistic Ethics and Media Vocational Training Program. What does that all mean? We need the ecosystem of media and the news is like, it's gone. It's just falling apart. Nobody trusts the news anymore. How are we supposed to have a media that nobody trusts? So we really need to build this thing back up, and we're doing that here at the Peak with citizen journalists, but I have to tell you, us old people, you aren't showing up so much to help. So I'm going for the youth. And we're training them up. I was actually down at D11 today talking to them. It's looking like we're going to be teaching journalistic ethics and media vocational training in D11 and maybe other places. And so we're doing this fundraiser, one, to help people understand all the different things we're doing and buy in, but to raise the money that we need to develop the curriculum, because it looks like there's going to be college credit associated with it, that we're going to be able to get it certificates. It's going to be accredited. So it's getting very, very exciting, and we have as scheduled speakers Jason Jurgensen, a school board member of D11, Heidi Ganal, who's now ran for governor but now president of Rocky Mountain Voice, Chris Gould, who's our GM and senior VP here at Salem. Congressman Jeff Crank's going to be joining us by video, and I'm emceeing, and it's going to be a lot of great people. So go now. Stop hesitating on buying the tickets, because I actually have to put the numbers in to the Pinery tonight and tell them, and I don't know if you guys are going to show up or not, but go to thepeak.news/events, thepeak.news/events. Get your tickets, only $20. Really, really good deal. And then, of course, there's silent auctions. There's all kinds of stuff. Read about it on the website. Okay, Traci Marques.
Nice.
Woo!
You got
Two
it.
for two. CEO and Executive Director of the Pikes Peak Workforce Center. Traci, why are you so passionate about helping others find work?
You know, I think it really goes, I'm a former military spouse, and as a former military spouse, you move around every 2 to 3 years, and it was very hard I have a college degree from Indiana University, I'm Midwestern, Hoosiers, a little sad about Notre Dame's loss, I'm just gonna be honest about that, but with reality is that as a military spouse, it was very hard for me to have a professional career, because you had to prove yourself every place you went, and there was no option for promotions within, because you were always knowing that you were going to leave again, and your employers always knew that you were going to leave in 2 to 3 years. And my passion for that is when I entered into the world of work at the Pikes Peak Workforce Center, was like, how do we help them? How do we help with transferable skill sets? How do we really help them succeed and be successful in life and help their families too? And I think my passion really comes from being a former military spouse.
So why do you think that we have more jobs than we have people looking for jobs here when there's so many talented people here? What's behind that?
It's a great question. It goes to what we already talked about, is that skills-based hiring. The skills that people have, or the skills that people think they have, is different than what's on a job posting and what employers need or more employers may think they need. And how do we help narrow that gap between the skills that employers are requiring in their job descriptions and the skills that people have in our community? How do we upskill you or reskill you to fit those other positions that maybe your employer is having a hard time finding? You're a great employee, you love your job, you show up on time, your employer loves you, but you don't have necessarily the skill sets to fit that open position. How do we encourage people to have that conversation with their manager and saying, hey, let me have this training, let me go after additional certifications, and let me prove to you how I can upskill and reskill and get that new position within your company?
Now, why would a business not take advantage of that? Because the secret that businesses, all businesses should know, is your organization and others in town. There's a lot of government money here. A lot of things that cost nothing. I mean, they always cost something, right? It's from tax money. But you know, as far as out of pocket for the employer or for the employee, why don't people know about this and tap into it? What keeps them from doing it?
Well, one thing is you don't know what you don't know. And if you don't have the opportunity to showcase what we have as an employment development grant, you don't know about it. And the other thing, in reality, businesses are moving hard and fast. If you're a small business owner in our region or nationally, you're doing operations, you're doing marketing, you're doing your QuickBooks, you're doing a little bit of everything, and you don't have the time, and sometimes maybe not the energy to be able to do that. So how do we come in and help and have those conversations with employers?
So what are some other challenges?
Other challenges that we have are just really looking at the community, the businesses that we have, and the in-demand industries. What are our in-demand industries in our community? What are the skill sets that those industries need? And really looking at how do we train or retrain our existing workforce to fit those skill sets and jobs.
So how are you taking this problem and turning it into opportunities? What are things that we can do, your organization, just everybody across the board? Because I mean, it's a shame to have all these people here and not be able to hire them.
Right.
And function, because I know, a lot of business owners, it's a problem, and it's really stressful when you don't have employees in there. So how do we turn these challenges into opportunities?
Well, opportunities is one of my favorite words. Our federal legislation is a Workforce Innovation Opportunity Act. So we love to talk about opportunities, because that's what it really is how do we have these opportunities? How do we have career coaches. How do we take a career coach, and the career coaches are in all different institutions, higher ed, K through 12 education. How do we take and have a conversation with wanting to change career pathways, or maybe they just got laid off, they've been in their position for 30 years with the same company, and all of a sudden they have nothing. Part of what we need to do is get people to help identify the skill sets that we have. How do we know if you